ショコラ、バニラ。ああ、俺でいいなら喜んで。はい。
ショコラのご主人様はご主人様がいいです。私も、私のご主人はご主人がいい。
ああ、わかったよ。じゃあ改めてこれからもよろしくな。
Is the world ready for Catgirls? This is a legitimate question that needs to be asked and answered within the next half century when DNA-modified creatures become a normal, everyday occurrence. There's already tests and experiments going on, and although interesting Catgirls specifically are more in a comedic light, given that the interest and circumstances line up, it could be a very real possibility. Catgirls are an interesting topic. More often than not, they are either discussed about or people are disgusted about it. But let us start here. What are catgirls? The history of catgirls. Nakamusume catgirls are anthropomorphic cats with human traits, but they are more accurately to be described today as humans with cat traits. Like anything curious in modern Japanese history, they go all the way back hundreds of years. Catgirls originated from the Edo period but grew into the Showa period of Japanese history, appearing in street shows and plays akin to the English playwright boom, even happening in the same century. However, during these plays, one would find it more common to see these catgirls be just plain and simple outright cats, and even more so, they're portrayed more as prostitutes. But the idea was beginning to take shape, and going into the 1930s, paper plays or kamishibais would reignite the idea and move catgirls into the modern times. Finally, the 1949 anime, The King's Tale, put paper to TV, and the first anime catgirl was made. However, this is still not the anime catgirl, the mole one, the cute one, the one you would be finding in your bed. We just still need to jump a few more years to 1968. Gegege no Kitaro brings us closer, but we aren't there yet. Here's Nekamusume, the catgirl of the show. You won't be finding body pillows of her, that's for sure. But here's 1980's Star of the Cottonland. We are getting so close, but not body pillow material just yet. However, slowly but surely, that brings us to today. Anime catgirls, you definitely want to abandon the idea of procreation just to date this anime catgirl. So, what actually are they? Catgirls of today have specific characteristics that make them different to their predecessors. You won't be finding whiskers or cat paws anywhere on today's catgirls, for better or for worse. One would be even hard-pressed to find any of these catgirls show any of their anatomy. Any viewer would only be able to guess, but I guess that is a good thing. Who would want to know if this thing has feline or human organs? It shouldn't really matter to begin with. To those who are not part of the giant and outright diverse community of anime, catgirls have this alluring yet casual presence when it's talked about in most specific groups of anime fans. Catgirls are almost coveted, and usually are not limited to characters that originally were catgirls. Like most subgenres, or in lack of a better term, memes, these catgirls can be applied to almost any character or any topic that didn't even have catgirls to begin with. These catgirls can be applied from angsty teens being living allegories of depression, or maybe straight up just not being catgirls but cat girls, and thus should be treated as such. But catgirls aren't really a big enough genre that can go toe-to-toe with elements such as isekai, reincarnation into other worlds, to warrant their own anime. In other words, fans would likely watch their new isekai instead of their new catgirls. As such, catgirls are more seen around characters and ideas rather than being their own genre or the center theme of an anime or manga. And although it is not impossible or common to begin with, it will most certainly would like to float with other genres or topics to help it go along. So why ask the question to begin with? Well, as stated before, DNA enhanced or modified or both creatures will start to pop up sooner than later, assuming that Elon Musk begins to go through with the idea of catgirls and the quote-unquote production of them. What would they look like? What laws and cultural implications will they bring with them? As stated before, the anime community have this infatuation when it comes to catgirls. Some, not all, would love to wake up beside an anime catgirl, a girl with curly tails and ears, and they would be very thrilled to have catgirls walking amongst them. If catgirls were made to walk amongst them. If catgirls are to be made, they will have to be produced first, or to be modified or deeply modified existing human beings. Catgirls would be produced, made. These catgirls would be products, consumables, made to be used. This without even bringing into question what we'd be producing or buying to begin with. Are these slaves? Pets? This whole issue could just be avoided if all catgirls would just be, like modified human females that really want to get into it. The world has sold and traded slaves, and as much as the United Nations or any independent body would love to stop it, the money is there, and to convince the public, who are very thrilled to have this anime catgirl, or even have the workers who are helping into production of them, you're going to be making a lot of people angry, and you're going to be killing off an entire industry. That is even arguing if these catgirls would be given free will or thought to begin with. But if they don't, where is the issue of human rights? If these catgirls are only acting as humans, do they need to be treated like a human? Slaves don't have a track record of being treated well for their work, and although there are examples of them being treated fairly and honored, catgirls bring a few more things to the table that would make it very different from history's examples of slavery. For example, these catgirls, if produced, would not have to be taken from a land, or would have land or ownership or anything to begin with. There's no moral questions of colonizers or explorers taking land from societies that were already there, because there would be no society or land to take. These catgirls are, at best, would be pets, assuming they would be given some thought more complex than that of a dog, but less more powerful than humans. Catgirls would be most likely to be given the capacity to know and function, but not pursue freedom. Catgirls would be bought for whatever the customer needs, whether it be a friend, whether it be a companion, or a mate. This doesn't bring into consideration that they might be given the capacity to be impregnated and produce a human that is half human, half catgirl, half human. There's no past to take away, no family to miss, only what the customer thinks a catgirl needs. Would stores exist of selling catgirls, pens of catgirls? What would they look like? The freedom to walk around, to be given a chance in the real world first? The scope of this video is just getting too messy, so I'm gonna have to end my rambling here. The anime community have always wanted to have catgirls, but the questioning of acquiring said catgirls, or even what rights catgirls would have never been asked. Even assuming catgirls would appear out of nowhere, not everything would be black or white. Yes, treat them fairly like normal human beings, and let them choose their fate, but there's no fantasy in that. The fantasy of catgirls existing to begin with isn't a fantasy anymore. Who's to say we rub off a few rights here and there? They're not human. But then again, this whole question is just for fun. To argue against myself and to make myself look somewhat sane, catgirls would probably be too big of a can of worms, religiously, morally, and legally, to even come close to being a normal. DNA modifications is cool and all, but most would be against modifications of humans to be something else to begin with. People are already against drugs and hormonal means to enhance bodies and have them compete against one another, i.e. the Olympics. So catgirls would not even be on the shelf to begin with. The idea has already left the train because, well, there was no train to begin with. Even so, if they are to exist, producing catgirls would be an idea that would have been debated and agreed and fought and died for long before the first one was produced. The chances of catgirls becoming a thing that otakus and fans would love to come up and take care and love them for become smaller and smaller as the idea becomes clearer and clearer and sooner. That's even if we debate the AI thing before the catgirls. However, it is an undeniable fact that there is a small but noticeable market of people just wanting a catgirl to begin with. Who's to say that the next country like China or Japan would let some laws a little loose to get a market early or take advantage of this new technology? I'm not saying these would be the two countries that would be starting it, but I'm just saying, come on. So, in short, this video is the embodiment of me asking too many questions but missing out on the basic ones, like, do I really expect the UN to let up to this? Or maybe do I really think catgirls can be a thing? Then again, let's all admit to ourselves, having a catgirl to wake up to head pat and marry and love sounds like a dream. But how many nightmares are we willing to go through to have this? This is Relay Canada, and don't think too hard, just enjoy the waifus.